Hey everyone, this is the second video which is part of the 4-part series I'm recording on how to build a loop workflow in SharePoint 2010. So in this section I'm going to test the InfoPath web form and just make sure that all the rules and actions I've set up in InfoPath as well as the InfoPath's load form work well, because I'm going to test it manually. So in this scenario I've logged in as requester 1 and I'm going to fill out the form saying testing the form load rules. Testing form load rules. I'm going to put an attachment. I'm going to hit submit. So let's go and take a look at the list item, and as you can see there's the list. The current status has changed, but the current workflow status still remains the original one, which is the default one. So I can change it over here, or I can log in as the legal department's administrator, which is that role is played by me, and I'm going to log in as that and make the change over there. So let me log in as myself. So the current status is request submitted, but in order for the legal administrative form view to show up, the current workflow status has also to change. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log in, and in this case look at it as the data view, and I can see all the columns over here. So right now the current status is request submitted, but I'm going to change the current workflow status to with the Daniel, who is the administrator. And I'm going to go back and look at, say, in progress view. I see that the change has taken effect, and now when I view the form in the edit item, I will see that I have the legal administrator view. So the form has successfully changed. One thing I do want to point out is at this point I'm just testing it manually. So every time I make a change in the list item, it's as if that the item was changed and it was saved, and therefore you see another timestamp. So that's why you will always see duplicates. So let's continue moving forward. So I've gone through the legal administrative department over here, and I'm going to say the form is good, forwarding it to the attorney, and we're going to forward it to the sent to attorney is the next current status. And let me just pick an attorney. I'm going to hit submit. So now let's look at the current status is now sent to attorney. That's the one we picked, but the current workflow status still shows it's with Daniel. So we need to change that. But before we do, let's log in as attorney 4. So here we are. Now let's go into the data sheet view. I see everything. Now the current status sent to attorney. Let's change the current workflow status and put it as with attorney, and let's go back to, say, in progress view. Once again, let's confirm. Yep, the current status is sent to attorney, the current workflow status is with attorney. And now if I go ahead and edit this list item, I will see the correct view of the form, and I do, the attorney view. Also, like I said, there's duplications over here, but that's something you don't need to worry about it, because that will be fixed when we run the workflows. So the action, I'm going to say the attorney reviewing process has begun, and I'm going to change the current status to attorney reviewing in process. I'm going to hit submit. Now this is one of the only scenario, or the only section where the current status and the current workflow status pretty much remains the same. I don't have to make any changes. So let me consider or assume that the attorney has gone through reviewing process, and we need to send it back to the requester for negotiating. So I'm going to say sending it to the requester for negotiating. And let me change the status. Current status is negotiating terms. I'm going to hit save or submit, and I see that the current status is negotiating terms. Current workflow status is with attorney. What I do need to see is in the data sheet view. Actually, that's not the one I want to look at. I'm going to go in list this data sheet view, and the loopback is blank or 0 in this case, which is correct because I need to. So that means that the requester view has kicked in. So let me log in as a requester view, and in this case it's requester 4. Oh, it's actually requester 1. Let me log in as requester 1. Alright, so in requester 1, let me edit the form and I should see requester view, and I do. And the requester is going to say the contract looks good, sending it back, and I'm going to hit submit. Now, one of the things we need to see is what is the loop back status right now. So let me actually log in as the attorney in this case, and we can see it, the status of the loop back over there. It's the same one. Change the view to the datasheet view, and the loopback control is at 1. So current status is negotiating terms, the current workflow status is with attorney, and the loopback control is 1. Now, in order for the attorney view to kick in, I need to change that back to attorney reviewing in process, and I'm going to go back to say in process, and when I go and edit the view, I should see it back as the attorney view, and I do. So I'm going to say contract work is done, sending it back to the legal admin, and I need to make sure that I change the current status and say attorney review completed. Let's submit, and yep, the current status changes to attorney review complete, but the current workflow status is with attorney, so I need to change that. Let's go back now and log in as the legal administrator, which in this case is me. Let me just go in as the datasheet view. Alright, so current status, attorney review completed, current workflow status with attorney. I'm going to change that to with Daniel. Go back and go to in progress, and when I open it, I should see it as legal administrator view. Alright, so legal administrator view is there. I'm going to say the contract is ready to go live. And when I change it to contract executed, I hit submit, and it goes off the in progress view. So this is a proof that the current status and the current workflow status are set up correctly in order for all the views to change. In this test, we were making all the changes, especially for the current workflow status manually, but in the next 2 videos I'm gonna start the workflow, and you will see that all the views and all the statuses change automatically because of the loopback workflow. So we'll see that very soon. Thank you.